few stragglers there that don't want to slide off, and they stop on top of the gutter. First time it rains, it just washes them right off. So you don't get the residue, you don't get the leaves, you don't get the pine needles, nothing sticking in your gutters to where it looks like it's growing.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend those. I've got them on my property now. I think Jim's got a brand new set on his
sure
house.
Do, and I like them so far.
Yeah, so we highly recommend them. Let's take
No
a phone
doubt.
call this morning.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Caller, you're on with John Allen. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Architectural shingles.
Yep.
They're about 10 years old. The black streaks I'm seeing on my roof, is that dirt? What is that?
Dirt and algae.
Talking about algae.
Yep.
Not algae, but dead gum moss growing up there.
Right.
I tried that peroxide and baking soda. It didn't touch it. It didn't kill it. It's still just as bright as green. I think it kind of fertilized it a little bit.
Well, it might have, because you got to let it sit there for quite a while, but you need something a little stronger with the if you've got the well, what I'm trying to say, the moss growing up there, you might even have to brush it a little bit. Now, they do make a product, and I think
I'm looking for my Sharpie right now. You mentioned something that had 3 initials in it.
TSP, maybe?
well, TSP, trisodium phosphate, is a good strong detergent. It's good to have a little something with peroxide because it foams a little bit. They actually make a wash that you can buy. I think Lowe's used to handle it. I can't recall the product right now, but you get it in quart bottles and mix it up and spray it up there. Just don't use bleach.
No.
Yeah, but I think if you'll do that, you may have to take a push broom and get you if you can walk on the roof, it's really good. Just don't walk over it. Start at the bottom and work your way up. That way you don't slip and fall, because it gets a little slimy up there. But let it stay on there for at least 15-20 minutes, and then hose it off.
Now, which one am I leaving up there for that long? TSP or with the?
I would let both of them stay up there for quite a while.
All right, what was the other one you mentioned?
TSP, that's the initials for trisodium phosphate.
Right.
You said peroxide, I think.
And then the mixture that I was telling you about originally was hot water, baking soda, and hydrogen peroxide. You let that stay up there for a good 15 to 30 minutes, and just let it sit there. It'll be kind of white on your roof, and that one you might want to brush a little bit.
Okay.
But when you got moss growing, that takes a lot more effort to get that off.
I was wondering what to kill it with, where it don't try to come back.
Well, without seeing your roof, I can't tell you exactly what I would use to kill it.
Yeah.
But any type of a sporicide that you want to mix in with that should do it. Now, ChemSpec is a company that I use. I'm not sure individuals can order that, but if you want to come by my office, I can probably sell you a gallon of it.
Okay.
That ChemSpec is a sporicide that will work good, that you can mix in with this and use it full strength. And there's also a company here in town called ServPro on Miller Drive.
I know where it is.
And if you'll talk, I just went blank on his name.
That's okay.
That's what happens when you get older, I guess, you know. Jeremy. Jeremy's his name. Ask for Jeremy, and he also can mix you up with a chemical that will take care of that he and I both we use in fire restoration, that will help break that stuff down and get it off your roof. But you're probably going to have to brush it with a stiff brush to get it off, because it's pretty well matted in there.
Okay.
All right?
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right, that's the way it's done. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call on the Old Town Spaghetti Store hotline, 731-423-8101. Text line is that simple also, 731-410-7560. Text, and it took me a minute to read this text to figure out what they were trying to say. But you remember how your teachers in high school said how important punctuation is?
Yeah.
We've kind of gotten away from that these days.
Yes, we have.
We just write words and hope they come out. And I'm not knocking you, texter, because I do the same thing. But if he's asking about does,
Yeah.
when you see does written without the apostrophe, it looks like does.
That's right.
So I was trying to make will does take reservations or have call ahead seating?
Yes, they will. And you can, and forgive me, but I don't have the phone number to give you. You can call it and get it from information. I just don't remember what it is right now, but you can call ahead, and Jerry, the manager, will probably answer the phone, and you'll be able to get a reservation if you like.
Correct.
They also have a little party room,
I
too.
was just about to ask you about that. Yeah.
There are quite a few people that have already booked that, and to have little gatherings, and so it's available, so we can kind of put you over on one side by the curved windows, and
Yep.
and you'll go from there. And hey, here's a phone number on those that Big John just gave me here, 731-265-6772. And he's also got a website. Now, you know this is technology here, John. Is that what? DozeEatPlace.com. You don't have to put that HTTP slanted line
www.
dot squiggle jump in there.
I love it when you talk tech.
Yeah. Kind of warms the heart, doesn't it?
Oh, man. As Andy Griffin said, don't that clutch you?
It just clutches you, boy.
Oh, man, it's Tricks of the Trade with John Allen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We got more to do. We got a phone call caller. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead because you're there. Let's go ahead and pick up this phone call right now. Good morning. You're on with John Allen.
Hey, Jimmy and John, got a quick question for you.
Yes.
All right.
I walked in right at the wrong time. You were talking about those gutter guards that Jimmy, you and John both have, and you said you like them. Well, I know there's a lot of yucky ones out there, and I'd like to find a real good one. And what was that gutter guard you were referring to?
It's the one that's installed by Economy Siding and Gutter, and it's a stainless steel mesh guard that allows the water to go through it, but it is such a fine mesh that it doesn't let the pine trees and the oak tree needles stick in it.
Yeah.
And so if you'll give Stormy a call at 422-3828, and he'll be able to come out and measure things up for you and get them installed for you.
Man, I will. I will definitely check that out. My neighbor's got a big old tree that's got those skinny willow oak leaves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plays havoc with that thing, and twice a year I'm on a ladder getting those things out.
Mm-hmm.
One thing though, one quick thing. What about little roof grit? You know, that naturally comes off your shingles. Will that build up in your gutters through those
Nope,
gutters?
it'll slide right on off too. That mesh is real fine, and the granules on your roofing will not go through it.
Is that a fact?
Yep.
That was a big thing I was wondering about on that. I know there's a lot out there you're just wasting your money to buy, but I'll definitely check that out, and I sure appreciate your help on that.
All right.
Another quick point. When Stormy's crew comes out to put those things on, they will clean out your gutters, make sure they're squeaky clean before they put the new leaf guards on there. So you're starting fresh.
Cool, dude. And one last thing.
Yep.
You guys don't know me. You probably don't. You definitely don't recognize my voice, but I've known both of you guys since you were little towhead kids.
Uh-oh.
Basically, I was a towhead kid too, and y'all the same today as you were then, so I appreciate both of you.
Well, thanks so much. We appreciate that. There'll be a little something extra in your pay envelope next week.
Hey, well, tell Social Security that or something.
Yeah, I understand. Right after I tell them to do it for me, right?
Yeah, and do not raise the Medicare.
Yeah, right.
The raise you put in my envelope.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh,
Hey,
boy.
thanks so much,
All
man,
right.
for the comments and the call. We appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You do too.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. All right, we're going to get a commercial break right quick. We'll return on 101.5 WNWS with Tricks of the Trade and John Allen. How about a little music?
Talked to my doctor, and he said he would highly recommend that I go ahead and get a shot. It doesn't only help me, it helps my family around me, all the people I associate with. So you're not only helping yourself, you're helping your neighbors also. Well, I might have been a little bit hesitant to begin with, but after looking at all the statistics, and I don't see anything after you take the shot, everybody seems to get along with it pretty good. So you have a spot, take your shot.
This is Arkansas, and so is this, and this. It's a place where your adventures can lead to wonders thousands of feet below ground, or to views high above it all. Arkansas is full of things you've never seen, and things worth seeing again and again. So if you're looking for a place to create legendary stories, or just make lasting moments, it's all right here. This is Arkansas. This is the natural state.
Hi, I'm Allie. At age 2, my parents knew that there was something different about me. They were told that my life would not be typical. But Autism Society of America was there to help through all of my journeys. Help make a difference and make a donation. Go to autismsociety.org.
Hey Tennessee, I'm Kix Brooks. I've been blessed to tour this nation from sea to shining sea. And every time that bus rolls back across the state line, I'm reminded how good we have it here in our home state. Whether you like to hunt, fish, or watch wildlife, we got our Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency to thank for it. But before you follow that red dirt road to your favorite fishing hole or hunting spot, there's one thing you need: a license. Just visit GoOutdoorsTennessee.com and you can get your license in minutes.
Looking for an easy way to compare bids from contractors you can trust? Search bbb.org for the type of work you need, then request a quote. Just click Get Quotes. You'll soon receive estimates from BBB-accredited businesses. Businesses which meet BBB standards of trust. Peace of mind is just one search away. BBB. Start with trust.
Saturday morning in Jackson, Madison County, and all of West Tennessee. John Allen's Tricks of the Trade. We're about halfway through the proceedings this morning, thanks to Paul coming down from Doe's Eat Plates. The opening up, as he said, a soft opening beginning next Friday around 5 o'clock or so. If you're interested, and I know you are, check it out. It's the old Greyhound bus station. You don't really need an address down there. You say, instead of saying it's at something East Main Street, you just tell them it's a bus station. They know where that is.
Everybody knows where the bus station is. I've been amazed. I mean, everybody's got a story about the bus station.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And there are stories to be told about the bus station.
There was people coming and going there, going to war and coming back from war.
That's
there
right.
In that one little spot, going to see some young people rode the bus to go see Grandma, maybe over in Middle or East Tennessee back in those days.
Yeah.
It was a kinder, gentler time back in those days.
Boy, it was.
Yeah.
It was. In many ways, I wish we could get back to. And speaking of that, let's just talk about a little nostalgia here.
All right, bring it on.
I'm gonna quiz you this morning.
Oh boy! After a long day like yesterday.
I take great pride in being a show that can tell you the difference between a thingamajig and a doohickey. And we've gone into that in the past, but I had an opportunity to mess with a youngster not long ago.
You love that, don't you?
I do. I just because they don't know the way it was.
Yep.
They don't teach this stuff in school. But I was thinking back about 50 years and remembering some things we did and dealt with that was just part of everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you tried that today, people don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, that happens often.
So, I brought a few things with me this morning, and I hope John's getting this on y'all.com because this is very visual.
Right now it's on WNWS on Facebook,
Okay.
and then it'll be on y'all later today.
So I know you've experienced some of this, but I'm just for the benefit of those that hadn't, and if there's people out here watching and listening, I know they hadn't. So I'm gonna quiz you. Number one. Now, you know what this is, don't you?
Yeah, it looks like a pair of wire pliers.
Yeah. I actually swiped these from my wife's closet. That's why it's got these pretty little colors on
I
it.
am so glad you said that.
Yeah. But anyway.
I don't like my plumber to use pink pliers.
Wire pliers had and we call them wire pliers. Wire pliers had a lot of uses back in the day. You did a little plumbing, you could pull nails, you could mend the fence, you could do a little bit of everything. But there was a use for these things back in the 50s and the 60s that I bet you didn't know about. You know what we used them for?
Well, some people use them to pull teeth.
Well, that's true.
I'm not going to demonstrate that.
Yeah, no. But you use this to change the channels on your TV when the knob broke.
Yeah, you did.
Now, I had a pair that was vice grip. I could squeeze them and they'd stick.
Squeeze them and leave them.
But back in the day when you had to get up and walk over, believe this, walk over to the TV set and change the channels manually. Sometimes the knob would break, or that little spring that went around the knob that sticks kind of flat on one side.
It would go bad.
It'd go bad and it'd just spin. So you had to pull the knob off, take the wire pliers to change the channel between 3, 5, 7, 13, and
3, 5, 7. Let's see, 3, 5, 13.
Yeah,
7.
13.
3, 5, 13, and 7.
Yeah,
That was it.
we didn't have all these
4 channels.
500 stations with nothing on right now.
3 out of Memphis and 1 local.
So anyway, that's what we used back then to change channels.
Right.
Now,
if somebody asks you if you grew up in that time, and they say, "What was the first job you ever had?" If you answer it truthfully, your first job was probably you were a remote control.
That's right.
Your daddy would say, "Change that channel. Gunsmoke's coming on."
That's right. That's right. A Red Skelton, or Howdy Doody, or whatever.
Ed Sullivan.
Exactly. Now, you know what this is?
It looks like a nickel from here.
Yeah, it is a nickel.
There we go. Okay.
But we didn't just buy things with it. There was a purpose for that nickel right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that purpose was, it is the perfect weight to go on top of your needle on the record player,
your record player.
When your favorite song would get to skipping. And you could put this nickel on top of that arm.
Yep.
If you had a real fancy one. You had one of these arms that would go back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And it'd drop a 45 on that little fat cylinder in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah.
But if it got to skipping on the song, you could put a nickel right on top of that arm, and that was the perfect weight to kind of jump through that rough spot right there.
Yeah, you didn't want to go to a quarter because that was too heavy and it ruined your record.
That's right,
Yeah,
right.
ruined
And
the
a
grooves,
dime was too light.
Yeah.
Nickel was the perfect thing.
Oh, yeah, mercy, you're making me feel so old.
Oh, now.
Wait a minute. Before you go, we got a couple of texts, okay?
All right, here we go.
It says, I noticed getting ready for work. Oh, this is a serious question. I noticed getting ready for work this morning, my water pressure was about half what it normally is. Is there anything that can cause that besides a leak somewhere? You noticed that at the stew cooking yesterday.
Yeah,
the water pressure was
was down. They are well, normally that signifies you got a break in your line somewhere, maybe your main line coming in. So you might want to look, see if you've got a wet spot out in the front yard and out around the meter. But if you want to know for sure if it's something on your side, open up your water meter and look at the meter itself. There's a little bitty dial about the size of a triangle there, and if it's moving, there's water running somewhere. If it's spinning, you got a leak somewhere, or somebody's got a faucet open. And if it's really whizzing around, get your raincoat, because you got some water going someplace. But yeah, that's it. Now, if it's not moving, you might call JEA and say something to them. They are flushing the lines around town right now, and they must have done it at my house, because when I was taking a shower this morning, when I first turned it on, the water was a little brown.
Yeah.
It went away, but apparently they had been flushing and stirred things up.
That was after you washed all the stew off of you.
Well, that's right.
That wasn't brown water,
that's
that
true.
was food.
That's true. Yeah, but yeah, that's about all I can tell you about that.
Okay, thank you, Texter. Appreciate that. We got another call hanging here. Call, you're on with John Allen.
Yes, about that stuff on that guy's roof. What ain't there zinc strips that you can put up there to slow that stuff down?
Yeah, if you can find the zinc strips, but you used to could put zinc around the ridge of your roof, and it would keep the moss and the algae from forming. But finding zinc strips to go on the roof, to my knowledge, about the only place I know you can buy them is in Minnesota.
Okay.
Not kidding.
I've never seen them. I mean, but I've heard them talked about.
Yeah, they are a half to 3/4 wide, and it's kind of like banding iron, and you would tack it along your ridge, and as the rain would hit it and wash over the zinc, there's something in that would prevent the algae and all from growing.
Chemical reaction of some kind.
Yeah, something. I don't know what it does, but it apparently works, because they use that a lot up north.
Okay, I know it might look terrible, but you know those hangers you get rolled up with ain't pretty much all steel. It's zinc coated. You know what I'm talking about, like nails and.
Yeah, it's galvanized. Yeah.
Yeah, that's zinc, right?
Yeah, that won't work.
It won't.
No, it's got to be a zinc metal, or there's zinc, and I think there's some that are magnesium oxide will do the same thing.
Okay. Well, thanks. You thanks for helping push back the frontiers of ignorance.
Well, just stay tuned. We got more for you.
That's right.
All right.
Appreciate the call, man. We are often lost in that forest of ignorance. At least I am. That's why I got him around.
We wander there frequently.
Oh, yes, we do. Here's another caller. You're on with John Allen. Good morning.
Hey, you talk about zinc.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you put right there where your shingles are kind of divided, between gives it its look, the pattern look?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you put pennies up there? They're zinc. Pennies are made out of zinc today, right?
They are. How are you going to stick them?
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying.
Just push them up under the edge of the shingle, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Where you got the dividing lines in between your shingles.
Right. That's the keyways is what you're talking about on a 3-tab shingle.
Well, mine are architectural.
That won't work.
Oh.
Because you don't have the grooves. You don't have those slots.
Well, they still got the little flaps, and I'm gonna.
I think he's talking about where they
All
over.
right, here's what's going to happen if you try that. If you try to shove something up under that, you're going to break the seal of that, and then on when windy days, dirt and debris is going to blow up under that. And
as soon as I said it, I thought about it.
Yeah, you done messed up. So
good try.
Why can't I just take a 16 penny nail and just nail them up there? What could go wrong?
A leak.
I just kept thinking, I got to get somewhere to get some pennies up.
You sound to me like if you start doing all that, you're going to be a future customer of mine fixing roof leaks.
Oh,
replacing
man.
replacing ceilings and insulation.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah, warped hardwood floors.
Yep.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for...
I've never heard of the zinc strips. Never heard of it.
Well, they use that mainly a lot up in the northern persuasion and Yankee America up there, and where they just that's one of the staples up there that they had, but we never used them much down here.
All right, I'm gonna call my brother. He lives up there. I'm gonna see.
Yeah, maybe he can send you one. Yeah.
Yeah, tell him to go order you something out of Minnesota. You can still get them at the hardware stores up there. I've seen them in rolls.
Now, how do they attach? How do I attach it up there?
How do you what?
How do you attach it?
They got little clips that actually it's a little tab that will slide under your shingle.
Okay.
And then the metal is
like I want to do my penny.
Yeah, you just don't have a little tail on your penny there. If you could get the tail up under there and expose the penny, except it's going to take a chunk of change for you to coat your roof.
Oh, Lord have mercy, the things we do.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for the call, caller. We appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
out there. Have a great Thanksgiving, man.
Thank you.
John Allen, Tricks of the Trades on a Saturday morning. We got to catch one more commercial break here, and we got to talk about our third title sponsor, West End Fence Company, when we come back.
All right.
We're going to be making the most classic bourbon cocktail known to man, the Mint Julep. Became the official cocktail of the Kentucky Derby in 1938. This cocktail is the Gold Rush. Today we'll be using bourbon instead.
Today we're going to make an old-fashioned cocktail, one of the most classic bourbon cocktails there are, and it tastes good for breakfast. With the Kentucky Mule, we are going to swap out that vodka for Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Called the Boulevardier, and we beef up the bourbon because it's Kentucky, and that's what we do here. Now to do a modern twist. Sometimes it's hard to do a variation on a classic cocktail because a lot of them are so good. An obvious place to go from there for a variation is a bourbon shake.
So now we're going to take that Kentucky Sour and put a very fun, modern edge on it. But if you are the adventurous type, it is a delicious drink. And that is what I call a bittersweet bourbon sour. Cheers.
Talked to my doctor, and he said he would highly recommend that I go ahead and get a shot. It doesn't only help me, it helps my family around me, all the people I associate with. So you're not only helping yourself, you're helping your neighbors also. Well, you know, I might have been a little bit hesitant to begin with, but after looking at all the statistics, and I don't see anything after you take the shot, everybody seems to get along with it pretty good. So you have a spot, take your shot.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Join the movement. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Allen here on 101.5 on this Saturday morning. We have a couple of texts in the stack. We have a caller on the line. Let's go to that one right now. Caller's been patient. Good morning. You're on with John Allen.
Hey, Mr. Allen, how you doing on this Saturday morning contrail stuff?
Doing fine, doing fine.
Hey, I was just wondering, somebody has given me some of that white cool seal, like a 5-gallon bucket of it. It hasn't been open, and they've been keeping it in their house for like 3 or 4 years.
I've got an awful lot of background noise. I can barely hear you.
Are you on? Whoop, there you
Are you there?
I was going to ask him if he's on a speakerphone, but call us back if you get an opportunity. But there was a lot of almost like wind or road noise.
Yeah, it sounded like it.
In the background. But give us a call back. I've got 2 texts in here, John. We were talking about wire pliers and vice grips a little earlier. Texter says, good morning. You can also use vice grips to drive a 65 Ford pickup when the steering wheel comes off.
Yes, you can.
He said when the steering wheel comes off rolling down I-40, have mercy. It'll work though, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would.
One hand, it's kind of like one of those suicide knobs. Wow. There's another nostalgic thing. You remember the suicide knob?
Yeah.
Oh, those things get you in trouble.
Oh.
Let's go back to the phone and see if that's our caller. Caller, you're on with John Allen.
Hey, is this any better?
That's much better.
Oh, hey, I was just wondering, somebody gave me a bucket of that white cool seal, Mr. Allen, and they've had it put up in their house for like 3 or 4 years. Is it still any good?
What was it again? That was a bucket of what?
White cool seal for your roof, for like a trailer roof.
Oh, okay, a sealer for a trailer roof.
Uh-huh.
What color was it?
White.
White?
White.
That's pretty good stuff. It comes in white. It also comes in aluminum. Both have the same property. Now, I don't know which one you have, but some of them you have to use with a cloth, a mesh cloth, and you'll actually mop it on there or brush it on there and lay this cloth down in it, and then brush it again with another layer on top, and it makes an excellent roof.
Okay, I've never heard of that with the cloth. I'll have to try that.
It's kind of like a cheesecloth that you'll lay in it, but it reinforces it to where it doesn't separate when the temperatures change and it's expanding and contracting.
That's exactly what I need, and I can buy this at local hardware stores.
ABC Supply out on Bells Highway carries that product as well as the cloth.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Way, Mr. Allen, I really appreciate it, and we'll see you later.
All right, take care.
Thanks so much for listening, man. We appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving. 2 quick texts about the driving the 65 Ford pickup with a pair of vice grips.
Yeah.
Apparently they were already in the truck and said they were on the door where the window handle had come off.
Hey, I got my people out there right now, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go to another phone call here and see what we have. Good morning. You're on with John Allen.
Good morning. How are you 2 gentlemen doing today?
Oh, we are good.
Gentlemen,
thanks
who walked
for the compliment. Yeah.
I need to rent some scaffolding to work on a wall in my house.
Uh-huh.
And I can't find a place in Jackson that will rent scaffolding.
Walt Meston Company on Raglan Road.
Oh, okay.
Go down there and see them. They've got the scaffolding, the walk boards, all the accessories you might need, even wheels if you want to put on it to roll it around.
Mm-hmm. Like a baker scaffold? Yeah.
Baker scaffold's what I was fixing to mention to you. If you're inside the house, they can rent you baker scaffold and the wheels and the walk boards to fit, so you'll be ready to go.
Okay, that'll be a great help. I've looked online. I've tried several local companies, and nobody rents it. They'll sell things, but I only need it for about a week or so.
Yep, they will fix you up. That's where I rent mine.
Okay, do you know if they're open today?
I think they're open till noon.
Okay, I will hang up from you. After your show, I will give them a call.
All right.
Thanks so much.
So much.
Glad we could be of help. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We got about 7 minutes of show left. We got to get one more commercial break in here, and then we need to talk a little bit about West 10 Fence Company. In fact, let's do that first.
All right.
West 10 Fence Company will put up whatever kind of fence you want, and as we always say, it is not just a fence to keep things in. you're actually getting a 2-for-1 because it'll keep things out too.
It sure will. It's not often you can get a bargain like that.
That's true.
Any kind of fence you want, it'll keep anybody in and keep everybody out. So it's good. It's straight, professionally put in. The posts are absolutely straight up and down, and they'll nail it up, screw it up, whatever they need to do to make it strong and durable. Gates, automatic openers, anything you want in the way of fencing, if you'll give West End Fence Company a call. That's what I do. They're good folks. They're dependable. They know what they're doing. So give them a call.
Wrought iron, ornamental iron, chain link, wood, vinyl, they can do it all. Construction fencing, industrial fencing, residential fencing. West End Fence Company is your one-stop shop. 731-668-5959, or for sales you can email Ricky Pennington at rpennington1@yahoo.com. One quick text and then we got to get our final commercial break in. Does that leaf guard work with a metal roof with a 4-inch gutter?
Yes, it will. You can get it for a 4-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch gutter, and it'll be just fine.
Excellent. Okie dokie. Thank you, Texter. Appreciate that. Last commercial break. We'll be right back with John Allen. Stay with us.
We're going to be making the most classic bourbon cocktail known to man, the Mint Julep. Became the official cocktail of the Kentucky Derby in 1938. This cocktail is the Gold Rush. Today we'll be using bourbon instead.
Today we're going to make an old-fashioned cocktail, one of the most classic bourbon cocktails there are, and it tastes good for breakfast. With the Kentucky Mule, we are going to swap out that vodka for Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Called the Boulevardier, and we beef up the bourbon because it's Kentucky, and that's what we do here. Now to do a modern twist. Sometimes it's hard to do a variation on a classic cocktail because a lot of them are so good. An obvious place to go from there for a variation is a bourbon shake.
So now we're going to take that Kentucky Sour and put a very fun, modern edge on it. But if you are the adventurous type, it is a delicious drink. And that is what I call a bittersweet bourbon sour. Cheers.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Join the movement. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Well, it has dual purpose.
Yes, it does.
This is a coat hanger.
Yes.
But this is an antenna.
You're right.
And if you had a pair of rabbit ears when you were growing up, sometimes you need to amplify the system.
Yep.
And you could put this on the back of your television or your radio, which was AM at the time.
AM, yep.
You know, the fancy people got FM, but AM is what it was. Tune in to DXI, WHBQ.
Yeah, you could hear me back in 66 and 67.
Yeah, another old thing. Okay.
Yeah, another old thing.
So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Now, I was so tickled the other day. Well, I went to the grocery store, and you know, we used to have these growing up, but they're coming back.
Are they?
And that is paper.
A brown
bags.
paper sack.
Now this one actually has the name of the establishment on the outside of it. That's okay. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, everything was a paper sack.
Yes, it was.
But it not only did you put your groceries in this paper sack, it had other uses. Now, that other use mainly was for school kids.
Absolutely.
Everybody, and I mean everybody, used this paper sack to make book covers to demonstrate, and my wife didn't think I even knew how to do it, and I taught her something last night. I took a Kroger sack and I made my book cover.
There you go.
And it is the simplest thing to do, but this is what every kid, when they passed out, are they playing that music?
They're playing that music.
Well, we're not done yet, because I'm going to give you one more thing.
Yep.
Incidentally, this is a World Book Encyclopedia. This is the original Google.
There you go. The Google in print.
One more thing. You know what this is?
That's a pencil.
That is a pencil, but it was also what you used to wind your cassette when you were playing your music growing up.
That's
when it got all tangled up inside.
Absolutely correct.
So anyway, we're all done with that. So
yeah, we are.
We got to go get some stew ready for Aldersgate.
We do. Aldersgate Church, it'll be ready from 10 to noon today. All you have to do is drive up and tell them how much you want. $6 a quart, packaged up and ready to go.
There you go. Well, folks, we appreciate everybody tuning in this morning, calling in, texting in, and we'll see you later on for Tricks in the Trade.
Absolutely. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you after all is said and done.
This is WNWS